Oh, there we are.
Oh,
We're live now.
great.
Okay, yeah, we're live. Alrighty, so I'm here. We're live with Tia.
Taya.
Taya, sorry.
You're good.
So Taya, what's your last name?
Saccoliti.
Saccoliti. Alrighty. Um, Go ahead and tell the audience, who are you?
Yeah, so like we said, I'm Thea Saccoliti. I am a voiceover actress, best well known for the most recent Gundam series, Mobile Suit Gundam G-Quooks, and I voice Amate or Machu, whichever version of her you prefer. And that's kind of my major role, my who am I at the moment.
That's awesome. Well, I like to get into your early career. So you started theater when you were 12?
I started theater all the way back in kindergarten. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, I'm an only child and lots of energy. So the thing to do is throw your kid in front of an audience. And it just fell in love with the world of acting. And then by the time I was 12, is when I started in the world of film. And like actually getting representation and getting agents, even though I'm from Colorado, so it's like really weird to do that out there.
I understand. It's normal where I'm at. I'm from Florida. So
Okay.
there's a lot of people around Disney and everything all around there. So especially where I'm at in the area.
Yeah, I was like probably I think fourth grade. I was in another play. Like I was always just trying to do something, and I was really just my passion early on. And I had a director come to my mom, and she was like, "Why doesn't Taya have an agent?" And my mom was like, "Well, she's in fourth grade. Like, what are we gonna do with friends?" And she was like, "I'm scheduling a meeting. You're gonna go to Denver. You're gonna meet with an agent. Like, she needs reps." My mom was like, "Oh, do you want this?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, I want an agent. Like, that sounds great."
And
Um,
you, I'm sorry.
no, no, go ahead. And yeah, from there it's kind of
So
history.
what brought this up though? Were you just doing like some sort of play or and you got spotted?
Yeah, it was that director. It was an adaptation of Pinocchio, and
Okay.
I was playing a version of the Blue Fairy, and so it was really funny. I was going to school with blue hair every day, and that director was just like, "I see something. We need to get her with an agent." She scheduled a meeting for me because her kids were repped with an agency in Denver. And my mom took me, and I had that first meeting, and they signed me on the spot, but told me, like, you need classes. Here's the next step. And got me into some professional training where I was introduced to outside of theater, the voiceover very early on, film, TV, commercials. So that the whole like scope expanded rapidly from not just stage, but to a whole other world of all the different kind of medias to act in.
Wow. So doors has been pretty much kicked wide open for you after that. That's awesome. Yeah. You got it. I love you. Um, I will say this. I have been looking at some projects of yours, and I just recently watched this. Stage Kids. I just watched that yesterday, actually. Uh, Man, tell me about that because honestly, that kind of put me a little sideways after finishing that. Mhm.
Editing, any of the audio, like everything was female based on the crew, the writers, and so it was a really interesting atmosphere to be a part of. And then I also, outside of acting, I'm a big like mental health advocate, and so the storyline of that is so deep of just like there's always an underlying story to everybody that you don't see right away. And I think that it really touches a lot on how like youth can have those struggles, especially when like put in like stage kids put in the backstage or on stage or in front of the screen. And the writer of that project, Lynn Chin, actually based it off of her life, because she was a child actor. And so it was a really touching, emotional, powerful, I think beautiful story that I was very grateful to be a part of.
Definitely something that a lot of people don't talk about nowadays is mental health.
Mm-hmm.
And when I sat there and watched that, I was like, man, and I believe the character you're playing, again, I'm not good with names, as you could tell.
Sophia.
Sophia, there we go. Yeah, with Sophia, man, it's just, I don't want to say anything because I do encourage people. Yeah, I encourage people to watch it actually. So those who are watching right now, please watch it. It does get in touch with with mental health.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like I said, I just seen it yesterday, and I'm like, man, I kind of want to talk about this now.
Yeah, it's really great. It was fun on the flip side that I got to play the bitchy character because I don't
Hmm.
often get the mean girl roles. So that was really fun to be able to portray that because it's not my typical typecast. And then like as a mean girl, she still has layers to her.
Right. And I definitely seen that too. So like there was definitely more than that mean girl that's there, you know. It's definitely
Yeah.
something that was acting out of there. Like I said, like I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to.
Little bit of a cover.
Yeah, a little bit of cover, yeah, a little smoke screen. So so when did you actually do you get into like filming? So what was your first project?
Ooh, my first ever project. That's a good question. I'm trying to remember. I remember a lot of the early on ones. So there's a great film school in Denver that they have an open call, and the like senior students and everyone just kind of gather a giant list of potential cast for the entire school year. And so I auditioned for that like right away when I was like 12, early signed by my agent. And they were like, that's the way to get a reel. Just go do all of the unpaid student films, build your reel. So I did a bunch of those, which is now so funny looking back because it's all just college kids not having any idea what they're doing, running around. There's just problems everywhere. I look back at those student films, they'll just be like a stack of water bottles in the corner where it's like this like ethereal woodland, and you're like, that's a student film. So that's kind of where I started. But like as a kid, you're like, they have a camera. Like this is the biggest project I've ever done. So it was a lot of those. One of my earliest memories was, I think it's two. I have Tsunami, which is on my IMDb. Funny indie film. Uh, yeah, that was my first paid job.
Okay.
And again, that one is a feature. So it was my first feature I did. But I got to play a decently substantial character within the film very early on without many credits. And that was definitely an interesting experience as we were filming like brink of winter in Colorado. So it's like freezing cold out, and we couldn't have heat on because of the audio. So we were all just freezing, and we're like filming this haunted little like house and cabin, and there's a room upstairs that's just full of dead flies, and there was like a chair that we called the dead rat chair that was like, don't sit in that chair, and it was like, whoa, this is film. um and so it really is like the flip side of like becoming an actor, all of the not well regulated sets necessarily that you're on, that you have to like push through to then get to the higher level and just like keep climbing until you're like, oh, this is really what a film set is when like everyone has a job and everything's regulated. So a lot of those early projects are just the wild little indie happenstances.
And especially with those little indie projects, there's a lot of improvising on trying to get like things also kind of like what we had to do earlier. That was my bad, by the way.
Lifing.
Yeah, it's life. Yeah, it doesn't matter how prepared we get, we're never fully prepared.
Yeah, absolutely.
And and mind you, I do have a lot of people asking about G-Club.
Uh-huh.
Um, so did you know anything about Gundam beforehand, before you took on the project? No?
No, it was so funny. I didn't even fully know what I booked until the first day I got to the recording studio.
Oh, wow.
So when I auditioned, it was under like a different name, I'm pretty sure. So when I got the like request from my agent, it was like booking request, and then it had like the actual character name. I was like, who? What? When did I audition? Who? I have no idea what. I was like, obviously accept, but I don't know what I'm accepting. And I was like scrolling through my emails, looking and looking, and then I finally found like one thing that like the code name of the original project matched the list, and I was like, it has to be this character. But I'd actually auditioned for both Amate and Nyan. So then I was like, wait, which one? um, and luckily the day before I got more information and I was like, okay, sick. Okay, I know what this is. And I showed up, and they were like, so do you know Gundam? Do you like watch it? And I was like, no, I'm sorry. Like, please don't fire me. And they loved that though. The whole kind of idea of this new series was to revamp of like the whole generational, just kind of give it a new spin and feeling. And they were like, we love the fact that it's going to be so authentically new. Like, you're not copying anything that's been done because you haven't seen it. And they even like encourage me. They're like, watch other anime, but you don't have to watch G-Clucks. Like, you don't, or obviously G-Clucks, you don't have to watch Gundam, and like try to replicate anything because we want this like fresh new take. And I was like, great, perfect, good. So I'll do my homework, but it wasn't going to happen day one. So yeah, I had no clue how substantial the project was until I got into it, and then I was like, oh wow, this is such an honor.
Yeah, it ended up being the lead role.
Yes, that
Yeah.
too.
And okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but this was your first anime?
It's my first. Yeah, it is my first anime. My first
Okay.
like technically anime. I've done animation, but more so kids. And it's my first dubbing.
Your first dubbing. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, that's awesome. I know man, it's like I sat down with I don't know if you know who Graham Campbell is, but
It sounds very familiar.
yeah, but he directed the first live action Gundam.
Oh
And
wow.
yeah, so we sat down, we talked for a little while, and he was like, "Yeah, I got in. I didn't know anything about it. You know, they didn't. I got in. The script was already done,
Huh?
and the team was already there. They just said film it. I had no idea what I was filming,
That's
and
how to do it, man.
yeah, I mean, he winged it. So wow, it just sort of reminds me of that story.
Hmm.
Wow, and I gotta say, I watched the series twice because I like to sort of like get my opinion in. Um, Amazing, by the way. You did a great job. I just want to
Thank
say that.
you.
Yeah,
I create directors. You know, coming in as a novice, every day I was like learning so much and just absorbing and soaking it in. And I worked with 3 different directors on the project, and everyone
okay,
was phenomenal.
that's awesome. So like you have a lot of coaching per se.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's good.
They don't listen if they don't like a line. You're doing it 20 times, like in the best way. You'll keep going. But I will say, as at least I'm guessing, as this is my first dubbing project, you don't have a lot to refer to, but as you discover the character, it becomes a lot easier. Um,
Okay,
those first few days, we were going like really slow through the script as I was kind of discovering her voice and just kind of like inklings as a person. And then we got a few weeks in, and they were like, "Dang, like you figured it out. Like you know who she is now." And I was like, "I think I do." Like we got there.
do they usually like let you take some projects home to kind of like read on it and study, kind of like some script?
Not the script. I didn't get a single like script at home at all. I never knew what I was coming into film.
Wow.
Yeah, you didn't even get to read like the next scene. So that's what's so important with directors in that way is they know the script and I don't. So sometimes, like to me, I'm gonna be mean to this character because I just met them and whatever what's going on in the scene, and they'll be like, oh, no, actually that's going to be your best friend, you can't be that mean right now. And you're like, oh, really? I didn't know that was coming. So they'll have to give you just kind of like little snippets of the future, because we're really like, as the voice actors, we're living it scene by scene, moment by moment, as the character on screen. So I think it's really cool as an actor, because there's no time to overthink about like what's happening in the movie, or like what's happening in episode 4. It really is just authentic of how that person would react in the moment. Yes, it blew my mind when I literally, that's what I thought. But it's kind of nice for like my stress. Like there's nothing to stress about, because I literally have nothing to be doing other than maybe watch other anime. um like there's no scripts to look over. I just show up, they give me an iPad, tell me we're starting at line 53, and I look and I'm like, and sometimes they'll do scenes out of order too, and I'll be like, I don't even know who this character is, but I'm talking to them now, okay. Like,
Do they have anything like in the studio where you sort of have like a screen where you kind of see how the way you're supposed to act?
yeah, so they have a
Okay.
giant projector right
Okay.
in front of me, and how it would usually go is all of the Japanese is in it already, so they typically play the Japanese voice in the scene, and then just you get your 3 beeps and you just say it in English, reading off the dubbed version below.
Oh.
And then sometimes do it like 3 to 1 billion times, depending on how many. And yeah, it's really fascinating though, because right in front of you, once you do those like 3 takes, they just plug them in, and now all of a sudden the Japanese voice is my voice, and I'm like, whoa, takes like 30 seconds.
Well, now you got me wanting to ask this question now. How long does it usually take for you to do an episode?
An episode. That's a good question. I mean, it depends on how many scenes I was in an episode. I want to say for the whole season, I did about six. I think I did 18 sessions, and
Okay.
those were between like 2 to 3 hours each. I'm like, what's the math on that?
A
um,
lot.
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
handful, but a lot of it. What's nice is we didn't really have any pickups. It was really smooth. There was no time for pickups, actually, to be honest. Maybe they wanted
Yeah.
to, just didn't get to. um, but it's, yeah, I'd say maybe like 4 hours an episode. We'll go with that ish.
Yeah. So there's like 12 episodes, so five
Yeah,
hours each. Yeah.
yeah, that sounds about right.
Interesting. All right, let me see if we have any. Because I do like a lot of people are asking so many questions with about you.
Lay them on
Um,
me. I might not have the answer, but I'll try.
but we'll try our best. So we have a guy in the comments. His name is Ace. How excited or scary was it to work for Gundam? With it being an established, I guess being how it's an established title since it's been around since the 70s.
Mhm. Um, I didn't really see it as scary until the day before it was going to air.
Okay.
I was just kind of like, I was nervous because I wanted to make a great impression on this team. Like once you're working in a dubbing studio, there's always the potential for them to call you back for other roles. And I was like, I really want to uphold a standard and show that I could be consistent in this industry. But I wasn't really connecting it to the franchise. That said, I think I didn't know at the beginning as well, like how much importance it had, until like I saw they like shut down uh like a New York Square or something, and like had a whole Gundam event, and I was like, whoa, like that's crazy, that's me. And then I was like, oh, this is like a big thing. And then I had like my husband, he's very into like gaming, and so a lot of his friends like anime, and they're like, dude, this is wild. And I came home and he was like, you do realize what you booked, right? And I was like, maybe I need to do more Googling. But yeah, it didn't really scare me until the night before, because they told me they kind of warned me, the director team, of just a heads up, sometimes these fandoms randomly don't like someone. So they kind of reached out to me like, we hired you for a reason. Please know you're talented. And if for whatever reason something online goes sour, like, don't let it get to you. And that's when it sunk in that like millions of people might hate me. Luckily, that didn't happen. I actually love reading all the little Reddit threads, and like people guessing who the voice was before it was me, because I was like, nobody's gonna guess me. Like, there's no way. Um, but yeah, luckily, it didn't really scare me. It was more of just like taking it day by day and having fun with it. I didn't meet anybody. Literally, yeah. All all of our sessions are different days and different times. Like, I didn't even like leave the parking lot the same time as another actor. I've DM'd a couple of people because like on release days or certain things, we'd be like, "OMG, good job! Like, you do awesome." But I didn't even know, like, when everybody's guessing the cast list, I can't even tell them if it's true or false, except for me. So we really are kept in the dark until like I was reading the credits on the first episode too, being like, "Oh, who is the rest of the cast?" So I hope to maybe meet them in person one day, but yeah, no
Really?
clue.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
I'm actually surprised by that.
it's crazy. And so like, if you're
That
like,
is
oh,
crazy.
we had great chemistry, we didn't know each other.
Hey, but look, that's talent. I mean, like, I'm sitting here thinking like you're in a room actually having a conversation with these people. If I like in another booth, but the fact like you just showed up by yourself and they're like, hey, you're arguing with this person, by the way. Okay,
Yeah,
great.
sometimes
Yeah.
if their session was before yours and their voice was already plugged in, you'd have something to kind of play off of. But often I would be the first one recording, so it would just be silence and my line, or you'd play off of sometimes the Japanese version, which is a little more difficult. But yeah, we did not get to play off of each other's energies and anything like that.
So, okay, so now there's another question. It says that how did you create that specific dialogue for Machi's voice?
It took some time. It honestly, like, I don't know if there's a certain technique. Um, it's kind of more just instinct once you identify who she is. I think all of the anime screams really helped. Once we got into like the fighting, I kind of was able to tap into more of that teenage angst. And that's really like, I think the technique for her is just that teenage angst. Like, that was my most common like adjustment I kept getting, was like, Taya, you're so sweet, you're so nice, she's angsty, like, have more like, I hate the world, energy. And that was the biggest thing that I got. So once I kind of found that, and I think a lot of it is finding the voice in your body, if that makes sense. Of like, I talk a lot more like up in my chest and like naturally in my throat up here, but Machu's, she's kind of grungy. Like, she's deeper in my torso than my usual talking voice, and she's also just very impulsive. So just not, which is also very opposite of me. I think through a lot of the things I say. So like, walking in that room and just speaking, and like when you just speak, things are a little faster and a little like more like just that speed. There's not the pauses to think, and with that, cadence changes. So it's a lot of those like minute things that you don't really think about is necessarily the voice, but more so the actions and thought process that lead to a different voice.
So this question is actually, well, this person's not here, but this question actually came from my daughter, and
Oh,
so she, yeah, because I was telling her, I was like, yeah, but because she knows I like Gundam, and she saw some of the trailers for G-Clux that you was in,
yeah.
and she's like, okay, well, I got a question, and she's 9. She's like, if I wanted to be an actor or an actress, what are some tips? I was like, okay, I'll ask her.
Yeah,
So
I mean, no matter what the field is, whether it is voiceover or film or stage, like the biggest thing is just start. Like just do it. Like I'm very much a perfectionist. And that's not going to work in the industry. It's just submitting yourself, setting yourself up for success. Yes, get your headshots, make connections. But it's like you see a casting, submit. Even if you don't have an excessive resume. Like when I got to set, they didn't know this was my first dubbing project. They didn't even look at my resume. Like they just liked my voice. I could have had nothing. And because I had the right agent who submitted me, I got that role. So it's kind of the like you don't know what you could get if you don't try. So it's just submit to everything and anything. Yes, take classes too. But I think if you just take classes forever and you're just trying to perfect in class and you're never ready to actually just throw yourself out there, that's not going to do you any help either. So it's you just do the thing. Do the thing, and maybe you'll fall flat on your face and you'll grow from that. Like,
I tell her, and then she's probably going to be like, wait, you told her? Oh.
you'll be like, okay, where do I submit now, Dad?
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna start submitting. I'm gonna start signing some applications right now, Dad. All right, let's see if we have any more questions. Uh, how restrictive was the translated script? So,
uh,
like the words from Japanese to English, very formal. I don't know if you knew this, but like I know the studio or the director was the one that made Evangelion. I don't know if you ever heard of that. Okay.
yeah. So like, how much freedom did we have with it, or just kind of like? Because I'll be honest, I don't know the technical translations, but I do
Yeah.
know we had a rep who fluently spoke Japanese, and he was in every session with everyone that would be in charge of pronunciation, or if something was translated that wasn't quite right and didn't fit, or if like phrasing didn't make sense because of the relationship between characters in the room. Sometimes they would change how sentences were, and after you kind of got the groove of the characters, if like sentences just didn't work out of my mouth, whether that's me or like the sentence, I don't know. They would kind of sit back and rewrite certain things, and it would really be a whole room effort for those few lines. It would be like, well, Taya, what do you think she would say in this situation? Slash, does that match the flaps of the voice? Slash, does that match the original Japanese close enough? Does that cause any hiccups with any other characters in the entire show if we change this word? Because sometimes there'd be callbacks or flashbacks, and it's like, well, because this character used that phrase 2 episodes ago, we can't change this line. So it's a lot of brains, and I'm glad it's not up to me to figure that out. Like, if it like just honestly just the flaps alone is crazy. I'm like, how do you think? They say it in the room. I'm like, how did you come up with that like specific phrasing to match the little mouth? Like,
It sounds like they gave you a little bit of freedom.
a little bit, yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
I definitely took it as a challenge as an actor to just be like, whatever they give me, I need to make good. But occasionally, it's just, sentences just don't flow sometimes. And if that was happening, they'd be like, okay, we got to switch this one up. It doesn't sound good.
Yeah, because of I know whenever I was talking to, I know I brought him up again, but I'm bringing him up again. But Graham Campbell, he was telling me he's like after the end of the project, they actually gave him a model kit,
Mm-hmm.
and they did the same thing.
Yeah, they gave me.
Okay.
I got a choice of like a whole model kit or this little Gundam figure. Uh,
Okay.
and so I have like a little shelf of just like characters, and I have a giant Buzz Lightyear on the top, and then I have my Gundam on top of my Buzz Lightyear. But yes, they did.
I like that. I was talking to Graham. He's like, "Yeah, I just kept it in the box. I don't want to."
Yeah, I was like, I'm
um,
never gonna build this. Let me actually grab one that I'll use.
now, what did they actually give you? Did they give you like the G Quux itself, or
No, I
no?
don't think. I, yeah, I don't know if they had access to that one when we got our little like end of series gift, but
Okay.
I think it's still cool to have my little guy. I honestly don't know which one he's from. I should probably look that up.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Okay, let's see. We have any more questions for you? Any specific dialogue inflection? Okay. Yeah. Okay, so we already asked that. Oh, yeah, we actually we here's a good one.
Oh,
All right. Somebody's asking what kind of dog. I
he,
guess I saw your dog in the frame.
he was hopping around. Now he's taking a nap
Yeah.
on the couch. His name is Billy, and he is a terrier mix. He's a rescue, so not sure what terriers, but I'm sure there's a little bit of Yorkie, and we think a little bit of Karen Terrier in there.
Okay. Very cute dog, by the way.
Thank you. He's always looked like an old man since he was born, and I think that's really funny.
That's like I have a Shih Tzu because see, I'm allergic to dogs,
Oh no!
and it breaks my heart. So, but same thing with not my oldest, but my youngest. It's also allergic, so he's just. I mean, he's awesome. I like him. Little, we call him Chewy.
Oh.
Yeah, he's awesome. He looks like a little Chewbacca.
Oh, we have a cat too, and I'm allergic to cats. But I've been getting the allergy shots. They work. Fun.
They work. I had a red nose growing up, and I was like, man, I don't care. I'm keeping this dog. And
Oh,
yeah, I was 12 when I found out I was allergic.
wow.
Yeah, my parents never kept dogs in the house till I was about 12. Anyways, so here's my question to you.
Okay.
Okay. So what are your goals like in the future in terms of like what kind of roles are you wanting to do in the future? Something like, like a superhero like Marvel, DC, or like like what are you aiming for?
I think for on camera, I would love to play like a supervillain. That's like my top. I said it in a different podcast, but kind of my like dream role. There's some comic where Joker and Harley Quinn have a kid, and she's a redhead. Her name, I can't remember it right now. If I looked it up, I'd find it. But I want to be their child. Like I feel like that'd be such a fun role, just like a little crazy. So that's my dream, like on camera. That said, for voiceover, I think it would be. I'll take anything. I would just like I I think because I am still such a novice, everything intrigues me. Like I had no clue I'd love dubbing anime as much as I do now, so I'm like craving more of that. But growing up, like I was very much like wanting the Disney princess kind of role, or like fairies and things like that, which I also think would be fun. But I think right now in life, I like the angsty characters. Because I just don't really get that on camera. I've got like a little baby face, and everyone wants to make me a teenager and like nice and kind. So like with voiceover, I just have like such a wider scope of characters I can play. Or like literally being a 5-year-old. Like I think that'd be really fun. Like I read for those roles, but I can't say I've been a 5-year-old yet. And I also think it's funny when like there's like a BoJack Horseman of like these characters, and they're just a little raunchy, like a little fun, but it still like looks like childlike type of animation. So there's a wide scope. I just want to be in a booth. I just
So more raunchy. I mean, the only thing I could think of is something like Family Guy, Simpsons, or maybe Rick and Morty.
yeah. I know there's also
Okay.
coming out. I don't know, like something that's just fun. Like you can just go in, it's like unexpected and new and just like interesting. Like I don't like being bored. I don't know that I've ever been bored in a project or acting necessarily, but I'm a big fan of like going to work and everything being different all the time. And so just like a character that just there's always something changing and I have to like just kind of be on my toes.
And I will say that because I was looking back studying some of your projects, so I have
Yeah.
seen like you play like a wide range of people. Somebody who it's an older project I know, but you were playing somebody like a very intelligent young girl.
Oh yes,
Um,
yes, my Nickelodeon role.
Nickelodeon.
Yes, yeah, I've tried. I try to be very versatile. But once I dyed my hair red, they decided I would no longer give off nerd energy. So
Okay.
no longer,
Yeah, because I noticed later on you played like a troubled teen
that's
roles, like rebellion teens. Yeah.
yeah. They go red hair. You are getting abused and you're abandoned and you're sad.
Yeah, okay, that's I guess that's what because with red hair, I guess.
Yeah, I've been blonde, brunette, and red, and I like the ginger best, but it definitely each one changes your typecast on camera for sure, which is part of the thing that I love about voiceover is you don't care how I look. It's all about the voice.
So somebody said that the character that you're probably talking about is Lucy, the
And
Joker's daughter.
yes, Lucy Quinzel.
Lucy Lucy
There we go.
Quinzel.
That's what it
There we
was.
go. Yep.
Yes. I
Okay,
was
yeah.
like,
Somebody
oh.
that's what live chats are for. Yeah, they like to interact and help out. Alrighty, let's see. Yeah, but for sure, like you definitely are very versatile from what I could see. Man, I'm sorry. Like, so what got you to do the project? Because I want to talk about it more, just about stage kids.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I just submitted an audition. It was funny. It's actually you always get auditions at the like worst times. I was back in Colorado visiting my mom, so I didn't have any of my self tape set up. I had my mom read with me. It's like so oversaturated in the audition tape. I wasn't fully memorized because I'd just been on a plane flying and traveling, but I wanted to get it in, and I got it like right before the deadline. And then I got I think it's an email that was just like, we want to offer you the one of the main roles of Stage Kids, and I was like, really? Like that was one of the worst audition, like to me visually at least, one of the worst auditions I've submitted lately. This is the one I'm gonna book, and I was like, that's the irony of acting. But I was so grateful. They were like, they told me afterwards that they had technically um, cast somebody else originally kind of like under the table because they were related to someone on the film, but the director wasn't fully set with that choice yet. And that when my tape came in, that it just clicked to her and she was like, that's our Sophia, sorry, like other girls out, I have no idea who she was, I'm sorry. um, but that, I mean, that's just how casting goes. I guess I was just the right person in her mind, and I'm never gonna say no to a role. So I hopped on a plane. We filmed in Utah, and was on set for the next few days. And that's the only time I've been to Utah, and I didn't get to see any of it because I was just going back from the house to filming. But it was a lovely experience.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, because I know when I watched it, I hope that she's not like this. Like in the interview. Oh man.
It was so funny, like on set, just like the just so funny within acting of like nobody's like their character. It's just hilarious. And that one also, that project had a lot of improv too, at least between like my character and the character who played my mom. And that was just the funniest part. They say cut, and we're just cracking up because the last 30 we were just like destroying each other. Like it's like no, we're friends, I promise. Like
Now, here's another question, and this is another one about G-Quux.
yeah.
Have you watched the show itself?
Yes, yeah, I would
Okay.
watch it with either friends or my husband or my brother-in-law, like almost weekly, because I was
Okay.
always because I did I didn't get to see any of the scenes that I wasn't in either, like as we're filming. So I really didn't know the story. So it was really helpful for my next session if I watched the episode before going back in, because I would understand like what Neon was doing when she's not in scenes with me, or what was happening. Like I didn't even know there was a whole like spaceship situation going on in space, because that doesn't include me. If I hadn't watched the episodes, I wouldn't have known half the characters when I like eventually got to those parts in my filming. And so yes, I watched it kind of religiously. I got very excited.
I can't help to think like you're probably just sitting down watching TV and like, man, was that what I was doing?
Literally.
Literally.
Oh, I'm like, this makes so much more sense now.
Oh, so that's why I was yelling.
That's exactly how it is. I'm like, I'm doing this stuff and I don't know why.
That's good. That project was sound like it treated you really good.
Yes,
Um, now I don't want to get you in trouble. Is
that's
there a
okay.
season two? Is there season two?
So so I haven't been told anything personally, but there was a tweet by like the Japanese team pretty much confirming there's not.
Okay.
But I would love that to be false. I haven't been told there's not officially. So who knows? Let's rally a season 2.
You hear that? Everybody, start like posting season two right now. Like go to
Yeah,
Twitter
just
or
like,
X, yeah, Facebook. Yeah, season two. She's gonna be in front of the charge.
yeah, no, don't put me in front.
No, we're gonna put you in front.
At the very least, though, I do think it's very probable, because they, I think, are really enjoying the crossover of new types in various
Okay.
seasons. So even if there's not a season 2, I think it's very probable that Machu will appear in a future Gundam.
Hmm.
Would be my non-educated prediction. Um,
I
so
wouldn't be surprised if you're gonna pop up in a video game somewhere.
I'll take that too. I
There you
haven't done
go.
the video game yet, and I would love to.
Oh, you haven't done a video game yet.
No, I auditioned for them. I get put on hold for them. I mean, it's just like Gundam. I've been auditioning for a decade, and I put on hold for so many projects and release, and it's like, okay, I'm doing something right, but the role just isn't quite right for me yet. So we'll see if hopefully Gundam is gonna keep opening some more doors and just let me keep getting off of on hold and officially booked.
Well, I know Netflix right now is making their own Gundam. It's been in the making for like 6 years, I think.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's another live action.
Oh wow, very
Yeah,
very.
so okay, so somebody's asking if you know the parallels between G-Quux and the original Universal Century timeline. So, do you know like the other Gundam series or no?
I know enough to have done my role.
Okay.
But if anyone were to quiz me, I would be terrible. They gave me enough backstory to understand, like, oh, this person is from a future one, and like episode 2 did a lot of flashback of explaining some of the characters and like Ride Comet and stuff. Um, so I've seen parts that were necessary to understand my character and kind of like timeline, but there's so much lore that I just nope, I don't know enough to be the leader of explaining that.
Yeah, I don't blame you. It's a lot to get into. It's over 40, almost 50 years worth of like information just right there. So it's a
Yeah.
lot to get into. So it's all good on that.
Oh,
So,
since the dog is back, I'll show everybody.
oh hey, everybody. You said his name is what again?
Billy.
Billy. Billy. There we go. You know what? Give me 1 second.
You're
I got
like,
you.
you're my Chewbacca.
Yeah, I'll show you my Chewbacca if I could find him. Oh, there he is. He's hiding. Come here. Come here, buddy. Oh,
It's show and tell time.
it's show and tell. Might as well. Yeah, but he's still a puppy. He's like 10 months. So
Oh, hi, puppy. Hello.
there we go. People were expecting a.
He won't look at the camera. He's like, no paparazzi.
Yeah, no paparazzi. I don't want nobody to know I played in Star Wars. But yeah, he's only a little puppy. He's like 10 months.
Aw,
So yeah,
guy.
always.
He's 3. Is he 4? He might be 4 now.
I
He's
don't
grown
know.
up.
I don't know the little beard. I don't
Oh,
know.
he looks
He,
like
he looks a
Agent.
little older. Yeah, he looks older than me. And I got grays going. So
He was born with gray hair, and it just keeps getting grayer. And I'm like, wow, you really are an old little man.
I mean, we got the same hair right here. Him and I do. That's awesome. All right, I'm gonna see if anybody has submitted any more questions. All right, so yeah, I wish he was part of it. All right, we have enough time just for a couple more questions before we end the stream. So definitely, so you're into like looking for like a villain role in the future.
I would love a villain role. Like that's always intrigued me. I always thought like also if they came out with like a teenage Poison Ivy series, I feel like I'd kill in that. Don't know what it looks like, but if someone wants to write it and throw me in, or like who else? Yeah, any type of villain, but I want them to like I don't want just like your average day no powers villain. Like I don't want to be the mean girl. I want to have magic.
I mean, you play Mean Girl pretty well. I've seen that. So, but yeah, that'd be awesome. Oh, somebody said that. Oh, sorry, let me scroll back down. If there was ever going to be another Gundam project in the States, would you take it? Ooh, my ears.
Oh, um,
You're good.
if there was another Gundam project, would I take it?
Yeah, that's what somebody was
Oh,
asking.
absolutely. I'm like, sorry, no, I already did one.
Yeah, I know you already did one. What's another?
No, absolutely, and that's something else that the dubbing team was kind of mentioning is there's a lot of actors that they bring back for different roles too, in various Gundams. So like everyone at first was guessing that I was Cassandra Lee Morris based off of my voice in the trailer. Since then, I'm like, wow, we do have some more voices. But like she's been in a couple Gundams, and that's why they were like, oh, like they're bringing her back, but for a more main role now. And so absolutely, I'd love to do another one. Yeah.
It's a big possibility. But I mean, I don't know anything.
Well, you just keep telling the dubbing, be like, bring her back, we love her.
Yeah, and hopefully, like somebody would see this and be like, man, yeah, she'd be a Lucy, all right. Happening. All right, so one last question. So the arcades. All right, so we already talked about like, um, yeah, we already said about my daughter's question about any advice on that. So I think that's it. But yep. All right.
Like, lingering thoughts.
Yeah, lingering thoughts. Yep. Yeah, I mean, we only got time for like one more question. So, what would be my last question to you? My last question to you is, oh, I don't know. I don't have another question. I think
You're like, we talked
we
all.
yeah, I think we were doing well. We talked about your early acting career, when you got started. We talked about Chiquak. Wait, Actually, I do have one last question. Actually,
Okay.
what was the other small roles that you did?
Oh, so I shortly before G Quooks recorded like a there's an adaptation of Snow White that's out
Okay.
on Apple TV, and that I play a bunny called Carnicle. So that was really fun to just sit in a booth and make bunny noises for a few hours. He also speaks, but a lot of it literally was just like bunny noise sniffling. I'm like, okay, I took a lot of inspiration from my dog, which is not a bunny, but I was like animal noise. Um, and I also there's a kids show called Stillwater on Apple TV that I had a little voice in as well, as like a little co-star. I did like a couple PSAs back in Colorado, just like voice. Um, I think those are the main things that at least ended up getting released and are somewhere to be seen.
Yeah, because I remember whenever I try to do a little bit of research before we do
Yeah,
interviews. I do know that Sequest was your first anime, and I remember you saying somewhere that you have done smaller projects like voice projects.
yeah,
I just weren't for sure which one it was. By the way, Colorado, very beautiful place. I've been there a
yeah.
few
It's
times.
I definitely prefer visiting than living. I moved to LA pretty early, and I have not looked back. I mean, I go back to visit, but I've never regretted it. But I'm also allergic to most of Colorado, so that really impacts my opinion on it. I go back to visit, and I'm just sneezing every single day.
That's how I feel about Florida. I don't live there anymore either. I'm
Yep,
proud Texan now, but
there you go.
yeah, but I can't stand the cold right now. I'm just not used to it.
No, the
And
cold. I couldn't.
so, but alrighty. This is Taya. Thank you for joining with us.
Thank you.
Yeah. Um, I wish you have a wonderful day today, and we're going to go ahead and end the podcast tonight, right now. And alrighty,
Bye.
bye.